All right, welcome back to Judging Bouncing Balls. Toby, how you doing?
Oh, we're doing great. The holiday week starts, right? I don't know when you guys look at the holidays starting, but this seems to be the majority of the kickoff of chaos for the next 6 weeks.
Oh, we are in the heart of it right now. Today was a getting all prepared for tomorrow. So I don't know about you, but I love Thanksgiving. It is my favorite holiday. Well, second favorite, Fourth of July. Then Thanksgiving. I love me some Thanksgiving.
I didn't know you're a Thanksgiving guy,
Eating holiday. I love it.
right? Right. It's one of the things I'm good at. I don't know if you could tell. Running and eating are my passions.
Hey, what we all gotta have something we're good at.
Right. Right. So does
Be the
everybody come to
best.
your house?
No, we're not gonna have anybody coming over. I think we're gonna just be on our own tonight or this week, which is fine. We might stop over and drop some pies off. I'll tell you a little bit about that to the in-laws, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. Watch some football, play some football, maybe have a little 3-on-3 game in the old fam in the backyard. Oh yeah, gets heated. There
So
might be some
American.
there might be some tears. We'll see.
So who's the number one draft pick? I mean, you played some college ball, so it's hard to say. So is it your wife?
Yeah, probably. Hey, she gets nasty. She gets nasty out there. You don't want to mess with Sarah.
So
How
who
about you
picks the
guys?
teams? I mean, how is
Oh,
this?
sorry.
We got to back this up. I need to know more because we are not
Okay.
at the backyard. So how does it 3-on-3? You got your four kids,
Uh-huh.
different age groups. From Isaac could be a sophomore to Ollie,
So,
who's in
junior.
junior.
Amelia's the
That's
sophomore
right.
now. Isn't that crazy?
Holy buckets! I forgot about that. We lost a year here.
Yeah. Let's see. So who would be so usually I think what we do is we just split it up girls v boys because you kind of get Amelia who's a little cantankerous, a little feisty, and she goes against Isaac. They're pretty close, and Oliver and Lucy are, Lucy's older, but Oliver's a little nuts, and so she, it kind of balances out. And so we go girls v boys. I'm not afraid to, take Sarah down. That's fine.
Oh, you've been married a long time. You got some built up ability in there to you can't knock her around because she could knock you around. So you got
she might hurt me.
to.
But I mean, I don't know. Whenever we play basketball, we always go at each other pretty hard. She's much better basketball player than I am, so I got to be physical. I got to rough her up a little bit just
Yeah,
so I can
that's
compete.
got to stay on top. There's a pecking order in this world. I don't care if
That's
you
right.
believe that. If you don't know about it, then you're at the bottom. You know what they say.
That's that's right. Alpha male over here.
Yeah, right. Put your feathers up.
Yeah, so no, it's always a good time. We'll have fun, and I might as well just tell you right now too. We also do a pie contest. So it's a Thanksgiving tradition for our little family ever since we started doing. Everybody bakes a pie. I always do lemon meringue because I love lemon meringue, and the kids all made pies today, except for Amelia. She's at hockey practice. She'll make hers when she gets home, and then we have a little thing tomorrow. We have after we eat, then we do a pie. Everybody gets a sheet, and we have to rank everybody's pie based off presentation, based off taste, and then we see who wins, who has the best pie. It's a good
That's
time.
amazing. Like homemade pies, like all the
Oh yeah,
way.
all the way, everybody.
Wow.
Sarah made key lime. I made lemon meringue. Isaac made a pear pie this year. He started he's throwing on something a little different, going a pear pie with a streusel top or something. And then uh, Oliver did like a peanut butter puff, and Lucy did like, I don't know what she did. She's what was hers? I don't know. I'll find out. I'm going to eat it tomorrow, though. That's the best part. I don't really care. I just eat them all.
The I'll be honest, your wife wins because the key lime pie is like the pie of the island, right? I mean, that's
Oh,
the
it's good.
where whatever, not Cunningham, the guy that wrote, he lives down in the Keys, um, the
Oh,
famous author.
Buffett.
Well, not Buffett, the guy that wrote Moby Dick.
I can't remember.
Richie Cunningham. I don't know why that comes to mind, but
I should know
the
this, but
yeah, Henningway,
Hemingway. There you go.
that's it. Oh, oh Lord. Um,
Uh,
yeah, so we go to my in-laws tomorrow, Jackie's parents. Great
okay,
time. Great food. The her aunts and some uncles and a couple cousins, that they're older. Her
nice.
brother's coming in from Michigan. So we oh man, Leo Leo just joined us and now he's leaving us. He's going to Shoot's Bar. Not very nice. Texted me that.
Wow.
But so that's a good day tomorrow. Packer game at 11:30.
Yep.
Um, so we're pretty fired up for that. And then Friday, where I have to go to work a little bit, and then Saturday's my family. But we do tomorrow's turkey, all in. Saturday is sushi and Olive Garden salad. Yeah,
Nice.
pretty
Nice.
fantastic.
That's that.
So
Hey, I like it. No, I'm telling you, I love food holidays. This is one. Just eat, eat, eat. I love it. Football, eating. I mean, what could be better? What could be more
yeah,
American? And
so
to answer Paul's
pretty much.
question, I don't know what he means by that. I don't have any friends that come along with it, so it's just me.
I think he's thinking maybe we're your friends and maybe we should try it.
There, I'm okay with that. That would be good.
Yeah, and why not? Just I'll be in the area if I need to be.
If you need to be, swing on over. We'll have plenty of pie. Trust me, 6 pies. It's a lot of pies, and we do
You have
have some
ice
ice
cream?
cream.
I was
Oh,
gonna,
you damn right.
you do. I was gonna say I didn't know. I didn't know if you inventoried out.
There's a bear in the woods. Yes, yes.
Do you have a lot of ice cream?
We got a little bit. Working through it. We found some
Lucky.
people that wanted to buy a little bulk, and we've gotten rid of a couple, so it's good.
Good for you.
Oh
Good for
yeah,
you. Yeah,
it's good.
I,
No,
I eat ice cream year round, so it's
who
what I do.
doesn't?
Right, right.
Yeah, awesome.
But on
Hey,
the sports scene,
yeah, tell us about
what?
this trip you just took.
Oh, geez. All right. So Macy had an opportunity the O sixes, which is U19. I think that's right. Paul, if I'm wrong on that, let me know. So we're
We'll go with it.
U16 and U19. No, 17, 18. I don't know. Dusty's '06 team. So we had an opportunity to play, and we left. Actually, me and Macy, as a good father, I pulled her out of school again.
Wow,
So at some point, we're going to get that truancy letter. I know it.
good for
I
you.
get it with my other daughter. Yeah, it doesn't mean nothing to me. We're smart, going places. So we took the ride to down to South Bend, Indiana, and toured Notre Dame. Now I got to tell you, that's the greatest college campus I've ever seen in my life.
It's a good one.
Remember in Rudy when the dad goes in the stadium, he goes, "This is the greatest sight these two eyes have ever seen."
Yeah,
It's not. It's not that, but it is nice. And parking is atrocious. They don't exactly welcome the visitor,
uh-huh.
but we found a park outside of the bookstore. Funny.
Nice.
And then we tow and heeled it around. We put on 3.5 miles, and we didn't even get to half that campus.
Wow.
Yeah, we did the dome, the Golden Dome. We did the cathedral, which I'd posted some photos. That cathedral is as beautiful as the best picture you can see on the internet or in a book. It was absolutely amazing.
Hmm.
And we went to there was a really nice campus. There was a hotel on campus that we didn't know, but we went and checked it out just because we didn't know what it was. Every building is built with like the same brick, so everything is looks the same. Everything looks brand new. I don't know if you
Crazy.
know this about Notre Dame, but there's a lot of money at Notre Dame.
No.
Yeah, like I
Hmm.
thought maybe this was like a Northeast Wisconsin Marinette chapter type of school.
Hmm.
It's not. It's really
Interesting.
nice. So we come around by the football stadium, and my daughter Macy's like, what do you think? And I'm like, we're going for it. Like, let's see, let's Rudy this thing. So we did get stopped at the gate, and they told us that that's a no go. I did try to tell them I was a recruit for football,
Hmm.
but they evidently they've heard it before.
Hmm.
So we left. The soccer stadium is the coolest soccer stadium I've ever seen.
Really?
As it looks like the admission building, which looks like this building. So the front of it looks like the football stadium, which doesn't look like a football stadium on the sides. And it was beautiful, real brick bleach like seats. I mean, it was amazing with the skybox for coaches or whoever the timekeeper, and the grass was beautiful. Um, they were hosting a game that Sunday night, so we did not get to see one. Second round of the men's playoff. So, and then got into the athletic bookstore, and I did not drop this, but I said, I'm like, hey, do you have any soccer gear? And she's like, we do. We just marked it 50% off.
Nice.
And I wanted to be like, this is the luck of the Irish, right? But I didn't.
Ooh,
Because,
should have said that.
yeah, it was there, but I can embarrass my daughter pretty easy, and she thinks I'm corny. So I ate that. But yeah, great stuff. Got it for half price. It was instead of 100, it was only 50. I mean,
Wow.
you kidding me?
Wow.
Right? Yeah. And then we went into the real bookstore, which is the nicest bookstore I've ever seen. And that was full price.
Wow. Interesting.
So 2 sweatshirts, a shirt, a couple stickers, um, something else. Yeah, I got a little caught up in the moment and said, do whatever. So I didn't get anything.
What a
But
dad. What a dad.
yeah, yeah. And then we ventured down to Indianapolis, Westfield. So that park we had talked about in episode 1 or 2, being
Yes.
in financial trouble, was purchased privately, and it's thriving now, they say.
Hmm.
And that
Interesting.
area has blown up twice of what it was when the last time we were there. Like they're building like 3 more hotels around the park area. Um, Abbott Labs is a monster
Yeah.
building. It's crazy how that has blown up
Really? So now the next time we go, they're probably going to do stay and play, make us be right on the campus.
right there.
Huh.
Yep. So there was, let's see, we had 14 girls that went down. Macy being one of the 14. One of the girls that actually was committed, she's committed to GB. She woke up with a sinus, like really bad sinus infection. She went to the hospital, and then they came home.
Oh,
So they came up Thursday. They went home Friday. So we
that's too
lost the
bad.
girl right away. So yeah, so Macy saw considerable minutes on Friday, and then another girl wasn't feeling good on Friday. Woke up Saturday feeling worse. They
Oof.
took off.
Oh my gosh.
So we were down to 12. So we had one girl on the bench,
Wow.
and so it was funny because I take a picture of Macy sitting on the bench because that's where she'd start, and then I'd text it to the family and make fun of her. But then she got in like 8 minutes into the game, and then she'd play the whole game. And then halfway through the second game, one of the young ladies gets hurt, so there
Oh
are no
no.
subs. So in that case, it was great. Playing time galore. The girls were fantastic to Macy. So really, she fit right in. There's a difference in size and ability from a 15-year-old to an 18-year-old, as you can assume. But it was, she scrapped. She held her own, so that was great. Dusty was great. He told me the week before that he doesn't really coach these events. He just kind of lets them play out and talks to them on the sideline because he never wants a college coach to think, that he's like if you say, hey, you have to do this,
Right, right.
you don't want a coach to watch, you think that your kid can't do that. So that was interesting. I did reach out to him just to see, on how the next stage works. And he just said, they can't contact you till June 19th.
Hmm.
So there's no interaction. So I don't know what I expected. I didn't expect much, but I didn't, there's nothing to give from down there because you don't know.
Right.
So some good colleges. Um, but when I think on that '06 team, there's 20 some, they're expecting almost 30 girls to commit from D3 through D1, from the top team, the second tier, and I think even some girls from the third team, maybe. So if that team has a lot of talent. So there's only like 3 girls that were down there that hadn't committed. So I hope they got a look. I'm hoping, that I heard one college was there to watch one of them. Somebody said, I don't know if that's true or not, but I hope that they had the opportunity to come out of this with some success.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, that's pretty
The
crazy.
06 parents, they don't cheer. I don't know if it's a little older, but there was one instance where Macy got in a tussle in the first game, and the other girl hit the ground, and there was one dad that yelled, "Way to go," loud. It was me, but the other girl got a penalty, a foul, or whatever they call them. So Dusty told me they don't exactly play like the OH. They play kind of a different formation, and I said, I didn't notice. I said, I don't know what that means.
Sounds great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad it was a good trip.
And then Saturday we played at 8 a.m. And when you play at 8 a.m., you have a long day ahead because you have not much to do. So we saw that IU, Indiana University, was playing Michigan State at IU, which is an hour south. So me and another dad and our 2 daughters got in the car and we ripped down to IU and watched one of the worst college football games I've seen in a long time.
Good for you.
Between Michigan State. Yeah, they were poor. Midwest nice. So we don't have any access to anything. I didn't even have cash on me to pay for parking. So we pull up right to the front parking lot, right in front of the main gate. And there's a cop. And I'm like, excuse me, officer, how do you get a parking pass? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay. Do you mind if we park? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, the game had started about 5 minutes and there's spots everywhere. He's like, I don't care. Go ahead. So we pull right up to the front gate, park. We have like a 40-yard walk to the main gate. We're standing outside and we were going to buy tickets, and they were on SeatGeek or one of the seat selling sites.
Yeah.
Some guy did try scalping us tickets, and I walk up to this couple, and I'm like, excuse me, do you know where the ticket booth is, or tickets so we could maybe buy tickets? And she's like, she kind of hesitates, looks at her husband, looks back. She goes, give me your information. So I give her my email and my phone number. All of a sudden, 6 tickets pop up on my phone.
What?
She's like, use these. Yeah. So there's 4 of us. So we go on the stadium. We walk around to the other side, and we walk in. We're in section 26, 50-yard line, row 29. They were amazing.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. And I had worn a green sweatshirt, not by choice. Like, I just had it. And, of course, I got a lot of love from the Michigan State fans. So, and then a guy tried to accost me from behind. Like, he was like ready to chat because he thought my hat said Lions. It said Loons. So then I'd tell him I was a Packer fan. So then I'd listen to him tell me how great they are. That was 20 minutes.
Hey, Lion fans,
came around,
they're living it up right now.
It is their time. It was great because I had told the other dad, Matt, who I was with, I'm like, hey, one of my buddies from 8th grade, his son plays at IU football. And I found him. He didn't play much. And we were walking around. We were both third quarter. We decided to take a walk. And I run into my buddy and his 2 brothers, who I haven't seen since high school.
Holy cow.
In the stadium. Yeah, it was great. Good dudes. Got to take pictures, and their parents were there. I didn't get to see them, Bruce and his wife. And, yeah, we went back home and had a pizza and called it a day.
Hey, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. IU's okay, but Notre Dame is nice. I did look, $74,000 a year to go to Notre Dame.
Oh, that's it?
That's what I thought. I'm like, wow, that's really cheap.
A bargain.
Is that for all 4 years? No.
That's not a semester. That's one whole year.
Yeah.
deal.
Oh, well.
Wow,
So,
that's crazy.
yeah, great ride home from once from there. No traffic issues at all.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it kind of starts the process. I told Mace now she'll break down some tape, send it out to some coaches, um, and start to see, we have only 6 months until things start to happen. So it'll be interesting to see if it does happen, if nothing happens, or what happens.
Hey, that's all you can do. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's interesting when you talk about the recruiting side. Um, I'll bring this up just because that you just talked about it. I want to give you a little bit of any parents out there that are maybe worried about um, the timing of it or that you haven't done enough. Um, I actually follow a guy and he talks about this right here, and I just thought it was interesting. He just posted this the other day. He said that it's not too late, right? That you potentially just because you've started late doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't continue to do it. And I think that you should still try to get involved. That there are still spots being handed out, even if you're a 25 or you're a 24. You just can't give up on it. Now the chances go down, obviously, if you're a 24 or 25. But his mindset, and he's high up in U.S. soccer, was you just got to do the best you can, get involved, and it is what it is. Now we still have 6 months until our girls potentially could be recruited, but you just got to keep trying, do everything you can. I'm with you. I feel like sometimes I'm behind the eight ball a little bit. Like I haven't done enough, and I don't even know if Amelia even gets any interest. I mean, it's just one of those things. Like you're you do the best you can. And I responded to his post. I'm like, I'm not going to feel bad about the stuff that I haven't done. You just do the best you can for your kid moving forward, and help them out and direct them. And if they get anybody, that's great. If they don't, you move on and you just keep playing. So, but yeah, it's crazy to think about in 6 months. You, the kids could potentially be starting to field some of these offers, which is nuts to me.
Yeah, and I've really been diving into X or Twitter. There was some crazy things, and even Paul had sent me on that on day one of the transfer portal. Like it was something like 600 kids in Division I soccer, I think in girls soccer, entered the portal. So that's 600 kids that chose what they thought was their end game and didn't make it 2 years.
Isn't that crazy?
So they said that's kind of a hindrance for the next class because they could build they could do what Colorado did, right? You go in the
Right.
transfer portal and build, but then again, those girls have already had one college they didn't like. So you wonder if that plays a part for the next coach going, hey, look, um, you already gave up on one program. Who's going to say you're not going to give up on our program?
Right. And that's just the player side.
So
And then the other side right now, I know there's 60 college coaches vacancies open in soccer. And then there's it's
I
expected to
just
be,
was looking for that.
yeah, they're expected to be over 100. So, I mean, you think about people who are committed. If you commit to a coach and all of a sudden they leave, that totally throws everything off. And now you got people maybe want to leave or go do something else because, the coach left. Maybe you want to go follow the coach. So it opens up a whole new, can of worms. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, they say they give up. I mean, they can give up on their team. A new coach, they don't want to continue what the old if the old coach wasn't getting it done and fired. There's a very good chance that the players they're going to kind of clean some house. It's interesting, and this was talked about at the UW Milwaukee camp we went to last year, and I've heard it multiple times. The minute you enter the portal, your college can cut you, strip you of all your scholarships. So the portal isn't something where you can just stick your toe in the water.
Right.
The portal somewhere you're giving up on your team, and your team can give up on you in a heartbeat. So that's how colleges are using, like, hey, if you enter the portal, they can take back whatever, even that roster spot, even it's not even money, and now they have the ability to go out and give it to somebody else.
Right. Yeah.
So the Milwaukee coach, I think that what did he say? Like something ridiculous. Like 20% of people that enter the portal better themselves. 60% stay the same and 20% get worse or something like that. So 70 to 80% of kids that enter the portal either stay on the same situation
Hmm.
or go worse. But all you hear in the news about is the star quarterback, right? That the kid that went to Notre Dame. He went in the portal, picked out Notre Dame, took him. He bettered his situation, but there's 50 kids like him that went worse.
Right. Well, and you think about with Colorado right now, I mean, they lived in the portal. Wisconsin lived in the portal, and Wisconsin's not doing great. Colorado is better than last year, but struggling. It's not like it solves everything. I think there's a lot of misconception that the portal allows you to be competitive right away, and it still matters. Team chemistry still matters. It's still tough to do to actually come out and be good. And you could argue that there's probably some truth in being a traditional recruited program where if you can recruit people correctly and get them to stay and buy in, you're probably better off than having rented guns, transfer portal in and think they're going to set the world on fire. And then when it doesn't happen, now you've got all these interpersonal issues that are causing problems as well.
Yeah, and what I've looked into too is on the men's side, they're taking foreigners over Americans,
Correct.
um, and there's some I can't pronounce Jogo no Bonito. He's the Twitter guy. Don't quote me on that,
Yeah, yeah.
but he is saying the Marshall starting quarterback. Um, what year was he born? Born in '98. He's a grad student. Um, he played a pro career with Guarani from 17 to 18. He's on his fifth, and I mean he looks like he's 30. Marshall's freshman center back is 23. Um, and then here are the stats, which I found crazy, was Marshall University has 83% of their players are foreign born. West Virginia 52, Central Florida 69. So, and the only one that doesn't have any, Georgetown.
Hmm.
So 33% of players in the top 16 seeds of men's soccer are foreigners.
And
That's
honestly,
crazy.
that doesn't surprise me. I mean, when you think about the world, their number one sport is soccer. It would make sense that you're going to find better soccer players elsewhere. The downside there is or the question I think that could be asked is, should programs be allowed to bring in outside talent and use scholarship dollars away from U.S. players? I mean, but I don't see why you couldn't. I mean, I guess I can't think of a reason why. I mean, unless you just make a rule arbitrarily to say it's not possible. I mean, why wouldn't you try and go get some of those kids?
Right. Well, even UWGB right here in town is 40%. I mean,
Wow.
so this isn't just the big colleges. This freshman defender for Marshall, he played 3,000 minutes in the Portuguese U23 leagues. So my thing is, you're going out and getting men.
Correct.
Now they have NCAA eligibility because they have no NCAA jurisdiction over there.
Right.
I'm sure Messi's got 4 years of eligibility left. I mean, if he wants to.
Well, especially now that they've changed the whole professional thing, right? Because you can use name, image, and likeness. So I don't know if it used to be if you went professional, you couldn't go play college. And we talked about this with
Right.
that 15-year-old that went in professional. I don't know if that matters anymore from a college perspective. I don't know if it does.
Right, because of the NIL money.
Yeah, I think that all changed, and now it's like you can kind of bring in whoever. You get your 10 semesters, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. And Sean said I got to speak up. So I got to talk loud.
This is always a problem. This is why I turn my mic way down, because when we get to our recordings, it's not good. You're quiet and I'm
I got to
loud.
get new mic. I got to get a mic working. I got a mic. Um, but it'll be interesting to see how. Yeah, that is a great question though. On the professional side of sports, I'm assuming you only get so if you get 4 years of eligibility, but I'm assuming LeBron James can't come back and play basketball.
No, I would assume
Can't,
not.
right? I mean, he didn't play any college ball.
Yeah. I don't know. When I Google this, it says that the NCAA does not allow professional athletes to participate in college as amateurs, but there's got to be something there because if they're playing overseas, a lot of those guys, at least as I understood it, a lot of them were in quasi-professional leagues in Europe, and so unless they don't count that, and maybe they only count U.S. professional leagues. Maybe that's the loop. I don't know.
Yeah, Greg, who sat in that question and answer period, where he said he felt that he remembers 25% actually found a new college, which is even worse. So your chances of moving somewhere else are slim. So you've cut your nose off, and then nobody likes the way you look.
Not good. Yeah, you better
Not
have
good.
a,
Well,
a pretty good plan of where you're going if you enter the portal. That would be my assumption.
I would, yes. And that Renee Lopez, who wrote the book, and she calls it, the broken leg test, where you better love the college before you love the sports.
Yeah,
Like if you blow your ACL out tomorrow, is that college for you?
yeah,
Which I think is a great way to look at it.
agreed. Yeah, and you know what's
So
interesting when you
yeah,
when you look at like College Truth Soccer and stuff like that on Twitter, they do talk about that quite a bit. Make sure that you ask questions of the coach that's recruiting you and the school that's recruiting you. Make sure you like it and appreciate it, and you go and check out all the other X factors because you have to like it there too. It's not just about them liking you. It has to be a two-way street, and that's for sure.
yeah. And on the academic side, if you're going there, you don't like it. Transferring is easy with the academic side because you just pick another school, and I did it twice.
It's true. Hey, speaking of academics, I saw that player sheet for the 06s. Good gravy. All those girls are like
Right?
4.1, 4.05. I'm like, I would have, they don't want to know my GPA when I was in high school.
No, they didn't put those out with me.
Oh,
Like at my
man.
team, they're like, so that, and it's funny. I talked to my wife about that because Macy is an excellent student. She does that 4.0, and her classes are weighted, so she's a little bit above.
Hmm.
That's why I call her a nerd all the time. But yeah, wasn't that impressive?
Yeah.
I mean, every one of
I
them
think the
was
lowest
like,
was three
I mean, there was
seven, I think, or something. And there was only like four people below four. I'm like, holy cow.
I know. And I looked at that and I'm like, ooh, 3.7. But then I'm like, it's still borderline valedictorian where I went to school. And you feel bad for her. And I'm like, she's killing it
Yeah.
with an A average and she's at the bottom rung.
Yeah.
I'm like, that
Yeah, I
stinks.
couldn't believe it. I mean, honest to God, I'm pretty sure my GPA when I was in high school was like 2.8 or something like that. So she's like a full boy, like point above me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, those were impressive GPAs. I'm not gonna lie. Amelia does not have those kind of grades, like the 4.0 stuff. She's doing okay, but she's at like that 3.8, 3.9 range. But man, she's not, she's like, Isaac is like that 4.1 with weighted. And I'm like, I don't know where these kids get it. They didn't get it from me.
No, my other daughter she came out of her sophomore year with a 3.5. And my wife's like, you really got to work hard. I'm like, work harder? That's amazing.
Yeah, you're doing great. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
was very impressed with the GPAs. So when you mentioned the GPA thing, that's definitely. Did you guys fill out your sheet then for Macy a while ago?
Yeah, well, because of the 06s.
Yeah.
So, but interesting fact. So, Jackie Drexler, who was the team manager that handles it, she's fantastic. But I talked to her in length. But yeah, she is like, you have to have something to hand to the coaches. You have to have a pamphlet. So that sheet was printed out, and then everybody that coach that was there would get a sheet
Yeah.
because they don't want to be messing around on their phone with the QR code. So if they want to see more, then you go to the QR code, but at least it gave you a snapshot of who that player is.
Correct.
So Joe's going to print up some flyers.
Awesome. That's great. No, I turned
Pro.
it into Joe,
Yep.
and I completed that for over the past weekend. It's something I meant to do, and I just never got around to it. So I'm glad they're going to do that. And I sent you that note too, that they actually recommend that there's something handed out physically that has information, because they
Yep.
don't want to be messing around with taking pictures of QR codes and yada yada yada. So no, which makes sense.
Yeah, it's interesting. It kind of sucks that we're this age going down to pro, because you would like to have, the idea would be a coach comes up and he's like, "Hey, played great," um, we would like to talk more, but now you play and you just go home because there's nothing
Right.
that can
And
happen.
by the way, did you get a chance to look at all the teams that were going to be in attendance according to the National Pro?
I did.
What was your initial
I did.
reaction?
Daytona State College was like, I almost applied there when I went to spring break. I thought there were some decent schools. One that really threw me a loop was Milwaukee Area Technical College. That
I
one
didn't
threw me for
I
a
didn't
loop.
see that one. I did. What I was surprised is
Yeah.
how many from Wisconsin were there. There are a lot of people going to
Whitewater.
California, or sorry, going to Florida to scout a bunch of kids. It's like, we're already here. You could just drive over to Appleton. I mean, it's a lot cheaper.
So because when Joe put that out there, I questioned it, and Joe's like, you know what it is? The colleges are paying for their trip, so why not go to Florida?
Oh, I suppose. I suppose.
But Whitewater, Concordia, yeah, there was a barrage of Wisconsin school, a lot of East
Yeah.
Coast, couple like decent. Not they're all decent. Don't get me wrong, but I know it's like Central
Yeah.
Michigan, which is a great school. We toured that when we were over playing in Grand Rapids at one time. Beautiful campus, and then some bigger schools out of the
Yeah.
South. I don't know. I guess when you say it's a national pro tournament, I thought that the list would have been like bigger schools.
Yeah. I that was kind of my
And
assumption as well, but I do realize that this is it's ECNL, GA, and then I guess it would be E64, I would assume, somewhere in there.
mhm,
I don't know if there's another league.
yeah,
So that tells me that it's going to automatically get, you're just not going to get certain schools messing around with E64. That'd be my guess. But yeah, I thought the same thing too.
yeah, and that's the big question. We beat the Wave GA team came up for State Cup. That is 100% true, and we throttled them with problems. So does wearing the ECNL badge mean that much? I mean, if you go in DC, like if our team played ECNL, and let's say we go 500 or less, we spend another $15,000 traveling all over the country. Does that ECNL badge get you what you want? And nobody can answer it because nobody would know. But I just have a hard time believing. Like I told Paul when we were talking one day that our team will be kind of a very good grasp of what the E64 can do for a player. We've made regionals 3
Right.
times, no, 4 times, 3 times, right? We've made now 4. We're playing in the National Pro Tournament. We've won the Club v Club. We've played Galaxy twice. We didn't get run out of the gym with them. They're the national champions. We've beat everybody in our state. We've beat everybody in the Midwest. So, what more could we have done in our club or our conference, we'll call it, to get better? It'll be interesting to see where our girls get recruited, or some of our girls get
Right.
recruited, or if none of them get recruited.
Yeah. No, and that's what I'm curious
I
about
think
too.
I do believe our girls can all play at the college level. I don't know what division or what that all means.
Correct.
I did look up NAIA schools because there was a couple going down to pro. Um, I really don't know what they're about, but they give scholarships and they're they're all in on the sports side.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about them either. One of the things I saw this week that I thought was interesting when you talk about scholarships was, um, yeah, I think a lot of time when people hear scholarships, they assume that it's a full ride, and it was a coach actually talking about most of these are not full rides. In fact, they're partial, and a lot of people you see that are committed or whatever, that doesn't necessarily mean that they actually got a full ride or even a scholarship. They may have just been committing to, Wisconsin, let's say, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they actually got anything compensatory for them. It's they got a spot or to be on the roster for a tryout or whatever it might be. I think of some of the people I've talked to. There's no it varies very widely from what you actually get. Just because you're on a Division One team doesn't mean you got a scholarship. Just because you're on a Division Two team doesn't mean you got a scholarship. You might have just got preferred walk-on status or something along those lines. So it's always good to remember when you see all these people posting about things you don't really necessarily know too much about their situation without actually them telling you, unless they say, yeah, I got it. They might have gotten a scholarship of, $1,000. It doesn't necessarily mean that they got a full ride. Notre Dame didn't pay for $74,000 for them to go, or give them a credit of 74,000 or a write off or however they do it. I think I heard they actually don't give them money; they just write it off their books. But that's not necessarily something that they got. So always keep that in the back of your mind too. Just because you see a scholarship, you really don't know what it means.
Well, right, and even I read something on the verbal commit. The verbal commit is just you committed to go to the dance, right? You
Right,
haven't gone to the dance. You just committed to go to the dance. And at the end of the day, the dance might not want you anymore, or you decide to go to another
right.
dance. So even when you see people verbally commit, that's why when you see a 12 year old commit, it doesn't mean anything. It's just
Right.
it's a press piece.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, there's full scholarship, partial scholarship, and I read at Division II women's athletics soccer, they get like 9.5 scholarships to give for upwards of 30 people.
Yeah.
So they cut them in half, they cut them in quarters. And the UW Milwaukee coach told us in that question and answer period that if there's two girls vying for a spot and they're looking at two girls and they're relatively equal, they will take the girl with the better grades simply for the fact of the school is willing, you'll get a lot more money on academics than you ever would in
Yeah.
sports. So if that girl can get half her scholarship or half her tuition paid for by academics, they don't need to offer her any money. They can take that half scholarship now and maybe give it to a girl that they're trying to get to a full scholarship so she comes to your school. So that was an interesting take. So the grades do mean something.
Yeah, I saw the same thing as well. That a lot of the time they'll couple and stack, and goes back to what I teach in one of my classes: is scholarships are stackable. Go get the ones you can get. I mean, there's scholarships for all kinds of stuff. I mean, I saw a when we teach it and we do a unit where the kids look for different scholarships, they have to go find 10 that apply to them. I mean, I've seen scholarships for Swiss Americans. I mean, like, do you have Swiss lineage? There's all kinds of ethnicity. There's demographics based on gender. There's, all kinds of things. It's not just grades, and all of those are stackable. Maybe it's the type of degree that you're going to go get. If you want to go get a bioengineering, there might be scholarships you can get, for that. So there's, and you can get 10 of them if you want. And if it pays for all your schooling or even more than your schooling, then you get to pocket some of that, which is not a problem, not a bad thing either.
Do they dig, do you think, into your history, your 31andMe card, whatever that website is, where your heritage? I mean, like, are they going to know I'm not Swiss?
I don't know. That's a good question. I would assume they have to do some type of verification. Obviously, the amount of the scholarship dictates all of that. If you're able to show, if it's $500, they're probably going to make you show like some family lineage or something. Excuse me. But if it's a $10,000, $15,000 scholarship, they're going to make you show a lot more proof.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because as a French Canadian, I'm told,
Prosto.
I'm wondering if there's any money for being a Canuck. non-French speaking Canuck.
I don't know if you want to tell people you're from French Canada.
Right? Watered down Canadian.
That would not be good. Yeah,
But my oldest daughter got $1,000 scholarship in the mail, and she didn't do anything but apply early. Like if you like, there's a deadline coming up that we found out. So the next week we are going to be attacking the scholarship for her, because they say if you're not going to school for free, that's on you. Like your academics should be paid for. There's that much money out there for scholarships. Like I was floored. I didn't get a scholarship. I did apply. I didn't even know where to apply. But back then they weren't as fruitful as they are today. But literally applying before a certain date, they're like, here's $1,000.
yeah. No, it's true. There's a lot of money, and one of the things that we talk about in my class is for the students is there's a lot of money that goes unclaimed. And so if one person would have applied and would have qualified for said scholarship, they would have gotten it. And when we look at some of these scholarships, I mean, some of them are school specific. So, for example, there's one that's $500 for were you on the basketball team, the girls' basketball team, at any point during your 4 years. And if you were, and you graduated from SPASH, you're eligible. No grade requirements. There's no other requirement. It's just, were you on the team at some point? And when you think about it, like last year, I think we had 3 girls that graduated. That means 3 people could get that scholarship. So your chances are your 33% chance of getting that scholarship. It's like, apply, right? Because if you don't, nobody gets it. It just sits there. So that's a good reminder to some of the kids. And when we look at some of the demographics on it, sometimes nobody applies. And so nobody gets a scholarship. And so that just rolls over for the next year. But if nobody applies, I mean, man, what a missed opportunity for somebody. They probably could have got some money. And that's just one example. And you start multiplying that by, the list that I give out to the kids is hundreds of scholarships. I mean, there's scholarships for dang near everything. So yeah, there's a lot of money out there.
Yeah. I was a part of I coached youth football coming out of college. I did it for years. And me and another guy started a local tournament, and Ben Ettinger, who was a Marine that was killed in combat, went to Bayport. The gentleman I did the tournament with knew his mom really well. So we actually started a scholarship fund for Ben, and we raised enough money where it can give out $500 a year forever. It was like $15,000 to $20,000, and then it generates money through the market. But it was through a gentleman that started a company that's what they do, because his son had passed, so they started a scholarship in his name. So they handle these scholarships, and I don't know the criteria. It's been years, but I question if they're still giving it out, or if anybody knows to apply.
Right. Probably not. I mean, that the endowments are nice. I mean, when they set up an endowment, I mean, just think about it. If you're not familiar with how this works, just say you had $100,000 that you put into an endowment and you could get 5% on it. That means that generates $5,000 every year in interest, because the endowment it is, and that endowment money is usually then used for the scholarship. So let's just conservatively say you give out $4,000 of that. That goes on, to your point, in perpetuity, because the interest always generates. And some years it generates 6-7%, and that money just gets recycled back in, which then earns it more interest, which then can give out bigger rewards down the road. So yeah, I mean, some of these things last forever. It's just a matter of making sure that people are aware of them and actually apply. So back to the initial conversation, right? Yeah, you may not get an athletic scholarship, but that doesn't mean there's not money on the table. To your point, grades are really impactful. How you do on your ACT, SAT matters a lot. But then also just making sure you go hunt down some of these scholarships and apply to them. Man, they're all over the place, and some of them are specific. I'm sure Bayport has Bayport only scholarships, and so those are going to be opportunities to get additional monies wherever you go.
It all adds up. Beats paying for it.
That's true. And I know of one. There's a scholarship that I tell juniors about. It's called the Coolidge Scholarship. It's very difficult to get in. You got to have really good grades and really good extracurriculars. But if you are awarded that scholarship, it goes to the top. It's a national scholarship to the top junior that they select. It's 4 years tuition, room, board, full ride, everything. We're talking everything. 4 years to the school of your choice. So imagine if you picked Notre Dame, the room and board, that's probably $100,000 a year. That's a $400,000 scholarship. I mean, it's a massive scholarship, but to be, like I said, the grade expectations are really high. I had a couple students apply for it and they never even heard back. And they were like, 4.0, 4.1 students. So it's a very competitive scholarship, but they're out there. There's stuff out there if you have the right opportunity. But there's also full rides up through like your Elks Foundation, and through some of the local clubs that you have, the VFW. I mean, just look around. There's scholarships all over the place.
Yeah, I wonder if I joined the Moose Club.
There you go.
That's their secret wave. But yeah, you're right. I mean, just every it's crazy. It's something that I never even knew. But now with the price of college, I mean, the cheapest state school is $17,500.
Yep.
All in. I mean, that's a big dollar amount.
It really is. So sidebar on this, one thing that I learned this week that I did not know. Apparently, Amelia is interested in joining either the Air Force, the Marines, or anything. Like I told her about the Air Force, and she's like, they have a soccer team. I've never seen her so excited. She was more excited about the Air Force soccer team. She's like tracking these people down, the coaches. Apparently, she wants to join the military, so that there's your other option. When you get the GI Bill, they're going to pay for a lot of things too. I mean, it's always a little unnerving when you're in the military, but that's if you're interested in the armed forces, there's some great opportunities out there as well to pay for school if that's really what your kind of goal is.
Yeah, it's hard to get into some of these schools too. I know there's what's the big one?
West Point.
West Point. I mean, that's incredibly tough. Air Force is up there. Plus, Air Force is in the beautiful. It's in Colorado.
Yeah, I was like,
it's pretty nice.
I'd go there.
And if they're picking up the chunk.
Yeah, apparently, I did not know this. I got to look into it more. But somebody told me that you have to get sponsored by a state representative, like a senator or somebody, to actually be able to go to those programs. I'm like, now I got to write my congressman. Boy.
Yeah, I think that one's pretty easy for him to do. Like, there's a kid out of Notre Dame Academy that went to the Naval Academy, and the local congressman ate it up. I mean, the old photo op, and we're excited to see this young man go, and they were all
okay. Well, I guess maybe it won't be as hard. I mean, I know a couple of them. I've corresponded with them a couple times for certain matters, but I wouldn't say that I've, I wouldn't say that we're friends or anything.
You might want to rewrite that letter and be like, just kidding. You're doing a great job.
Super stoked to meet you.
Yeah. I need you now.
Yeah. But anyways, interesting stuff. So, Dusty says they can nominate 2 people per year per state. Okay, there you go. So apparently you got to wrangle that down. I mean, that's not a lot of people. And there's only a few. I mean, I guess I thought maybe it was only your state senator, but maybe if you're national representative, maybe if all of them could do 2, but that doesn't seem like a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't know. But how many people want to go to West Point?
Yeah, I suppose.
I didn't.
Yeah. Huh.
Hey, the kids. Now, if you're a young male, 18, do you have to still sign up for the Armed
Selective
Forces?
service, yeah. Within 1 month, if you don't, you can be in trouble. Yeah. So Isaac is going to have to sign up here next year, I think, by January.
I remember signing up back in 1992. We were going to go to war.
Yeah.
That was the Gulf War. And I'll be honest, I was pretty nervous because I felt that with my speed and stealthiness, like I'd have made a really good soldier.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they looked at me, they're like, wow, I bet that guy can get up and down the mountains pretty quick. And then I told them I had flat feet. I don't know if I do or not, but I couldn't do it.
Can you imagine the stories you'd have if you'd have joined the military? I mean, the stories you have already are crazy. If you joined the military, just from the guys that I know, good Lord, we'd be out here for days.
I got a feeling it'd be more like Stripes, the movie.
Good movie.
Yes. Like, I don't think I've seen a lot of combat, but I could have held down a desk better than anybody. You know what? If I'd have did that for 25 years,
Nice
43, I'd
pension.
have retired at 43, full bennies, nice pension, went and got me a jobby job. Yeah,
So,
I'd probably been in like somewhere like Germany or
have you ever
something.
seen the movie Idiocracy? Oh,
No.
there's a great part in there where you got to watch the movie. First of all, it's super relevant to today. So watch it. But there's a guy in there that like that's his job is he sits in the bottom of like a military base and like monitors like storage area. And he's like, I don't want to lose this job. He's like, if I do this another 20 years, I get a pension. But it made me think of you talking about that because it's just that's you want to kind of just get that great gig and just ride it out.
Yeah, my he works at the U.S. Force Department. That's a federal job. I don't know when he works, but he says he works
Okay.
hard, which he doesn't.
Wow.
But yeah, he's got like 180 hours of vacation he's got to burn
Hmm.
yet.
That must suck.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
horrible.
Horrible.
But he doesn't know how he got the job, even though his uncle's in the forestry department ahead of him. So I said that could
Hmm.
help,
I wonder what it was.
right? Right. But we have how many weeks do we have before we go to Florida?
2, I think. Is it? I think it's something like that.
Did you buy your tickets?
Oh, to get in. No, I didn't. How much was that?
Well, we missed our window.
What?
We missed the cheap tickets. Yeah, they go from 80 to about 110 per two. For two, you only buy one,
Yes.
right? Sarah
No.
coming?
Just me. All right, that's fine. Well, it is what it is. Oh, $110.
Yeah, I didn't. I set my alarm and my alarm never went off on my phone. I blame my phone, so that's how I'm gonna tell them. But $55 to watch my kid play
So
soccer?
they weren't making enough
What the?
money from the hotels that remember we broke this down, the hotels and the team fees
Yep.
and the
And the
the
sweatshirt
sweatshirts. I mean, they weren't making
crap.
enough off of that. They had to soak the parents that are coming to watch.
Nope. Yeah.
What the hell?
So we're not getting a sweatshirt. That's it. I got to put my foot down. I mean, my kid will get one, but I'm not getting one. Do you ever buy any of that
No.
crap?
I honestly,
Oh, Kevin
once in a
Wood,
while,
whose daughter's.
no,
Yeah,
just
go
say
ahead.
it.
I was gonna say Kevin Wood, who just chimed in. You can't put a price on it. Oh, I can.
Already did.
His
Already
daughter's
did.
his daughter just she's got an opportunity to play at UWGB Division
Nice.
One, coming out of Bayport Pirates. Very proud of Abby and her father Kevin, who is happy and excited because his daughter's playing in the hometown. But yeah, no, absolutely, we could put a price on it. This is a lot. This
Yeah,
is a lot.
agreed. Yeah, I know I usually do. I try to abstain from those as much as possible. We have purchased a couple times out of the tournaments we've gone to, but I usually try to abstain if as much as possible.
I don't own one sweatshirt from any tournament. I don't own one sweatshirt from any bookstore we attend. I have 3 Yahoos upstairs that all buy
Hmm.
sweatshirts, and the rock runs out of water. They get so much water out of that rock, and everybody's looking at me like, Dad, you should get something. I'm like, no, I ain't wearing that.
Yeah,
I ain't wearing Notre Dame. Are you kidding me? The Domers. Same with Iowa, Illinois. No,
hey, at least you were there. At
Wisconsin.
least you got to see it.
Yeah, yeah. So I did take.
Well,
a picture.
good.
That's about as far as I go. So
Yeah, so that we get to
It'll be
pay
fun.
$55. That's exciting. I'm looking forward to that. I'll have to go buy the tickets. I'd forgotten about it. You know what? I just had a panic attack. I don't think I ever filled out that stupid form for Amelia either.
Right, that's been in my car because Jamie texted us. He's like, "Hey, your form has to be here before we leave for
Oh my
Florida."
God.
So, and you have to have the original.
So that means I got to drive it over or mail it.
Well, you mail it. You can mail it to. Well, don't mail it to me. Crap, I haven't even filled that
I'll
kid on
mail it to
mine.
Jamie.
Just mail it to
I need to
Jamie.
do that. That's going to happen today or tomorrow, and I will drop that in the mail so she has it because that's not good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, anyways,
And then we're on the same air. Yeah, we're on the
oh yeah,
same airplane, so we'll
yeah,
see
it'll
you
be
there
good.
at the airport.
So I thought with the way we should end this show tonight. I mean, it is Thanksgiving. Oh, I should have Toby sign it. That's a good idea. You know what, Toby? You should just do it for me. You should just print it out and just do it for me.
Does it
I
really
want to know what they're
matter?
actually doing with
I
it.
mean, right, like if I signed one with my left hand and one with my right hand, it's going to look the same because my penmanship is poor.
Oh, you could sign my
So,
name. I don't have a good signature. It's like printing, but really scribbly printing. I just do a J, a really big J, and the Y, and then a C, and then I put a line in the middle and a G. Jeremy Castleberg. Boom. It's not hard.
some kid wakes up and like, who the hell signed my football?
Yeah. Um.
Oh, it's a waiver for Disney, so we can't sue Disney when if our kids get hurt, which is crap.
Disney. Don't get me started on Disney.
Blow it out.
You want to talk about overrated, underrated?
You're going.
No, not anymore. Not now. Not for years. At least 2.
You
I think the rule is we have to go every third
next
year or
spring.
something like that, or fourth year. Yeah,
You better start selling ice cream.
yeah.
Young
Tell me
man.
about it. Start doing something. I'm gonna start an OnlyFans account. I think getting the real money.
Hey, speaking of that, I have one. Nobody's
What's
showed
going
up
on?
yet.
That's what we need. We need to take this show on the road, Toby. OnlyFans.
I'll do it. That's where I'm at right now.
What part of my body?
But hey, I did want to
Yeah.
go. Right? Is it the hands?
Totally.
But I did find something that as we stumper out here at the holiday, when we had Steph Hauser on, we talked about that their teams are going to move up divisions. And I found
Oh yeah, that's gonna start
from
impacting.
boys soccer. Yes, so boys soccer, Whitefish Bay moves to D1. Green Bay, Notre Dame, and New Berlin Eisenhower moved to D2.
Ooh.
And Sheboygan Christian Lutheran, which do you have Christians and Lutherans in the same school? Seems like that could be a
It's
problem.
Catholics and
Are
Lutherans.
moving to D3. So, right. But there's a reason why they don't have the same
True.
church. They fight.
True.
But they're moving to D3. So that impact is starting to happen.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, and that's going to impact too with football because I saw Edgar won Division 3 or Division 7. I think they won the year prior. Stratford, I think, same thing in Division 6. So you might start seeing some of those teams have to bump up and play other divisions, which, yeah, we'll see how that goes. See how it goes.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a bad thing, but
We're going to find out. I just would be. I'd be curious what happens if they all of a sudden play up and then they start having fail, like they don't start having success. Then they get to bump back down to their original? I would assume that would be the case, but
it's called relegation. I learned
okay.
that. But a couple things too before we're hoping next week have a special guest. I will reach out, but an orthopedic surgeon and captain of the 19-something, 2000-something Michigan University hockey program when they won the national title. I talked to this gentleman at the tennis banquet at Bayport. His daughter just won the Wisconsin State Division I tennis title as a freshman. First female in the Northeast Wisconsin area to win a state title. She then went on to win a level 3 tournament out of Baton Rouge, a U18 tournament. She's 14. She took first place in that. She's ranked 16th in the country. So we're going to talk to him about that recruiting. His son is got a full ride offer. I'm pretty sure it's to Michigan to play hockey. So very much like my family
Right, right.
genes. He played a lot of high level hockey. His wife played professional tennis. So it's very
Yeah, it
similar.
sounds very. I knew I was thinking of somebody when you were listing out all those accolades. Now it makes sense.
Right. Now it hits home. So that'll be exciting. We're hoping that if I can wrangle him for next Wednesday night, I've reached out to the Northern Michigan University women's soccer coach. They just had a nice run. They won their GLIAC conference, and then they got beat in the first round of the tournament at home, which stings. But I was hoping to get him on. He has yet to respond. Probably busy. Probably put us in his to-do
Mhm.
file, but hopefully.
Sweet.
So
That
keep
sounds
trying.
good. I like it. We'll have a guest in next week, and we'll hopefully have some good questions for him. Bring your questions in the fan world.
Yeah,
Perfect. So I was going to say
very
it's
big on fixing
Thanksgiving. What
ACL. So
we should end with something we're thankful for, Toby. What are we gonna say? I mean, there's lots of things to say, obviously.
there's a lot of things to say, and usually we do, what we don't like. It's been a great year. I always say the success of our soccer team is State Cup. We are not built for national title runs, even though we get our shot. So State Cup has been great. It'll be an exciting year. I mean, next year at this time, I'll be one kid down.
Yeah,
Um,
crazy.
so I will have a room for rent. Haven't figured out a price yet. So, but yeah, so there's a lot of fun things coming up. Lasts kind of for all four of us in the house. So it's going to be a good
Yeah.
run here.
So you're thankful for family, healthy family.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yes, I am.
Yes.
I love them
Yes,
all.
I would echo all of that. No, it's man, there's so much to be thankful for. I think I'm really glad, thankful for a really good club, honestly. If we're talking about these specific things, kiss up to Eric here a little bit. But no, I honestly, the club has been great for our family. I actually wish we could have gotten some more. I tried to get our son to go over. I tried to get our other daughter to go over. It's been a really good club, and they can clip this if they want and use it. But yeah, it's. I'm thankful that we have a really, really well run, good, solid club out there, amongst many other things. But for the purpose of this show, that kind of hits the vein of what we talk about all the time. I know we complain about some of the stuff like parking, but for the most part, things are. I'm very thankful for a good club. So I know what the other side is.
Our club is taking a step
Yeah,
forward every
agreed.
day. It is not going backwards. It is getting better. We have now more indoor turf than I think anybody around. We have beautiful outdoor facilities, and our level of play is getting our coaching's
Yeah,
great. So yeah, I think on that case, and I think we'll see success when you put that many girls playing college athletics. Your club's doing something right.
amen.
So
Agreed. Well, awesome. Well, hey, have an awesome Thanksgiving. Everybody else out there too, have a great Thanksgiving. Be safe. Enjoy the time.
yeah, try not to eat too much. I mean, right away, you got to pace yourself. That's a full day
Oh yeah, for
event.
sure. No, I'm gonna stuff myself. It's gonna be great. That's right, baby.
Sweatpants.
Just like on Friends when Joey gets those stretchy pants, the maternity pants, pulling those babies out.
Well, stay in touch. If you need some help with your waiver, you let me know,
I'll take you up on that.
and we'll. I'm sure we'll text and talk
Sounds
soon.
good. Have a good one.
All right. Bye bye.